Biggest fear that the World Economic Forum has is that there are going to be people that will not comply. Their biggest fear is your fight for freedom. Their biggest fear is that you will make individual decisions for yourself and you will not follow their orders. So this digital stuff is absolutely key, because without it, they can't enforce anything. Without it, they can't mandate that you do something. Without it, they can't control your life. So I don't care if you're talking about carbon emissions and what's safe and effective as far as they are concerned. I don't care if they're talking about an experimental injection, a series of injections, whatever they may be, and what's safe and effective as far as they're concerned. This is not about those individual things. This is about the desire to control you from the outside in. And if they have a digital process whereby they can restrict your movement, your behavior, and your decisions with the click of a button, you are done. You're done.
So on the van right behind me, there are cameras that are scanning everyone's faces as they walk past biometrically, like going through passport control, and yet they're just people walking down the street. And we're concerned that this is a massive leap towards Britain becoming a surveillance state. If we don't stop this now and launch a massive campaign now, then this will be normalised and it will be used much more widely.
By an unseen weapon, a focused beam of microwaves.
Symptoms of acute radiation sickness would be just exactly like a terrible flu.
A high-power microwave weapon.
Are portable microwave transmitters pulsed electromagnetic energy. The director of the CIA is saying, we can't connect the dots.
See, what we used to do is beam radio waves into the ground, and it would vibrate any strings that were present in the ground. We might get a sound back like, and we'd say, that's natural gas. We might get a sound back like, and we say that's crude oil. We were able to identify each frequency. We accomplished this with just 30 watts of radio power. If you do this with 2 billion watts, the vibrations are so violent that the entire piano would shake. In fact, the whole house would shake. In fact, the vibrations could be so severe underground that could even cause an earthquake.
Here we have some Apple AirPods, and they are turned off with the case closed, low levels of RF. And look what happens immediately when we open the case and take out the earbud. Our levels of RF go up pretty high. You can see people walking around with the earpod in their head. It's peaking at about 700 or 800 millivolts per meter.
Parents outraged tonight after a fourth child is diagnosed with cancer at a San Joaquin elementary school. And parents believe it's because of radiation caused by a cell tower at the school.
News tonight, CBS 13's Jen McGraw is live in Ripon with what the school is now saying. Jen?
Yeah, it's become such a point of contention that more than 200 students stayed home from school yesterday in protest, and their parents went before the school board demanding answers and that they take precaution. Cell phone towers are spread throughout the community, but it's this particular one that parents say
usually tell us it's 100% environmental, the type of tumor he has.
Monica Ferruli's son Mason was the second child to be diagnosed with cancer in just 3 years at Weston Elementary. He was 10 years old and walked by this cell phone tower daily.
It's undescribable. It's really tough.
That's one of the hardest things I've been through.
Joe Prime's son Kyle was the first, diagnosed with kidney cancer in 2016, and 2 more kids were diagnosed this year.
It just seems like a coincidence is no longer a reason for all this illness.
They believe it's this cell phone tower that's harming their kids.
These kids shouldn't be guinea pigs, and we shouldn't be taking chances with the children's lives.
The district has had several tests done saying the tower is safe and meets federal regulations. But some families weren't convinced and hired an expert.
I wouldn't send my kids there at all. It absolutely is dangerous.
Eric Windheim is an electromagnetic radiation specialist and found levels far higher than the district's expert.
Children that are still developing and their cells are still dividing. It's the worst possible time of their life to be exposed.
He says it's not just a cell tower, it transmits wireless frequencies.
Instead of only going 300 yards like regular white pine, can go 30 miles.
Parents want the mast removed, but the district won't budge. And while the district has sent plenty of letters to those parents tell me that this fight is far from over.
Well, 5G towers are starting to be installed in neighborhoods across the city.
And while they're meant to improve internet service, people who live around them say that the towers are imposing and an eyesore.
All right, Christine Russo has reaction from Brooklyn.
We just don't have no idea what it is. Does it help the neighborhood? Does it help the residential property value?
Marion Little, owner of this Brooklyn hardware store, says he was shocked to see a 32-foot tower seemingly appear overnight right outside of his shop.
It's extremely huge. I mean, it's really huge. It's almost like an eyesore.
Others walking by also confused about the structure.
The first one I've seen in my life. A large antenna. A large antenna. A lot of people call me, email me, text me, like, what is that? What is going on? And I have no answer.
What it is actually a 5G antenna tower installed by the city to bring free, high-speed internet across the 5 boroughs in underserved areas.
When I saw how huge it was and this monstrosity of an installation, I said, what is that?
Over in Fort Greene, Renee Collymore also has questions.
No one came to us to ask us if we wanted it, if we were concerned.
The New York City Office of Technology and Innovation partnered with Link NYC to install 2,000 5G antenna towers over the next few years. A spokesperson with Link says they got extensive community input during the process, like reviews with community boards, and chose specific areas that currently have little broadband.
If they did a community research, with who? Because it wasn't with me. Who did you meet with? And what were the results of the meeting? And why were we not at the table?
Aside from being unsightly and imposing, people also say they fear the towers can be unsafe. However, the city cites the FDA's approval of 5G technology as being unharmful. Ultimately, people say they just wish there was more communication.
We just don't know. That's the whole issue. We just don't know. We have no answers.
In Brooklyn, Christine Russo, Fox 5 News.
base station.
It's a 5G base station.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the radio head of the base station. And then there's fiber coming to the data center so that anyone who has this 5G.
Yes.
5G, this millimeter wave, so that it doesn't work with my phone, but with a millimeter wave terminal, that would work. And then there's this weather sensor is up there.
Yes.
And
does the weather sensor that one?
Yeah.
For the weather.
Yeah, for the weather. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the other white, like a pine code, is air quality sensor.
Oh, that's air quality.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there are multiple cameras. Some of them are integrated to the pole. You can see the notches. There are small cameras.
Yeah.
But then there's this, which is extruding out there. That's this 360.
Yes.
Camera that you can watch with the VR glasses.
Oh.
And then there's info display and radar, and if the
okay.
Good. Good quality air.
This is showing the air quality.
Air quality, that is good.
Yeah, green is good. It's
when it's green, it's good.
Yeah. The 16 is quite low. It's actually very, very good. It's from 0 to 500 and up to 15 is good. So that's very good. But there's some wind, so it's good, and there's not so much traffic here. I mean, the traffic is, of course, in the winter causing some air pollution. And there's also LiDAR. LiDAR is there on below the display, which is sensing.
Okay, it's Thursday, the 4th of whatever. Vicarage Road, top of Vicarage Road, looking down the hill there to that cell tower that's behind the school. I'm about to put my tri-fuel TF2 meter on RF setting, and the settings we're getting from this far is off the meter. This far from the school, that tower, because there's nothing else around here. It doesn't pick up these signals on that setting. I've checked that. That tower at this distance is off my meter.
What people haven't been told, I'm a weapons systems expert. These technologies were developed for the defence industry to attack enemies on the battlefield. This is not a telecommunications upgrade. The antenna design can be up to 100,000 times more powerful than a 4G antenna. 4G antennas radiate inverse square law. 5G antennas focus the radiation. Now you'll be told by IGNIRP, etc., that there's no damaging effects from non-ionizing radiation. That is false. Non-ionizing radiation is used in lasers to cut stainless steel. Anybody that thinks that non-ionizing radiation that is focused in a beam wave is safe is being given a false egg. It's not correct. Public Health England have stated they don't expect to see any further increase in radiation from the deployment of 400,000 5G masts across the country. That is false. We're being misled by public authorities is very, very concerning. The fact that government are stating that health effects cannot be taken into consideration in planning is extremely worrisome. The fact that this technology is derived from battlefield technologies and has been deployed in battlefield. If you want to see some of the pictures that I have of people who've been attacked by this type of equipment on a battlefield, they're not very pleasant to see. If you look at the design of the equipment, it is battlefield interrogation equipment. It's basically radar that can then focus directly at a target.
There are so many towers and hidden transmitters, even streetlights can have transmitters in them, road signs, and there is a system, and it's been out about 10, 12 years now, called CELDAR. There are different types of CELDAR, but basically a computer, if they wanted to watch you, it's like radar, only with microwaves. Once the system is locked onto you, let's say from this lamppost, if there's a transmitter there, once it's locked onto you, the computer will take away anything that isn't moving, like buildings, and it will have your size, and then as you walk up the road, and you get lost from this transmitter, the next one will pick you up, and then the next one, and they can follow you everywhere. And if they want to, they can also send a beam into you, a microwave beam.
Lo van a votar. Están esperando por favor para que averigüen las cosas.
No, van a venir aquí a la para...
Deadly small plane crash in the middle of a Florida neighborhood.
Died in a small plane crash on the west side earlier this
Two
week.
people yesterday morning, and now the National Safety
Find a plane that had gone down and
have died after a plane crashed into a Polk County.
They're investigating a small plane crash.
County's John Wayne Airport. John Wayne.
Mother, 70-year-old Deb Velleman, is missing in the water off the coast of Panama, along with a woman from Illinois. The plane they were in crashed in Panama Bay.
So you may be wondering why I'm including all these plane crashes. So if you think back to when the 5G was being deployed all over the country, they kept saying how radio altimeters in some of the smaller aircrafts and some of the older aircrafts use what's called the C-band. Well, 5G also uses that frequency range called the C-band, which is, it's about 3.7 to 4.2. Some sources even say it goes all the way up to 8 megahertz. The point is, though, they even had to delay the installation of 5G around airports due to the concerns that 5G would interfere with the radio altimeters, which, as we know, is a very important thing in a plane. If you can't see the ground, you kind of have to know how far away from said ground you are. Well, looking forward 2 years after this, 3 years after the 5G rollout, suddenly there's just planes falling out of the sky all over the place, and C-band is in full use. And yeah, you're seeing it right here. Let me know what you guys think. I know I've touched on it, but it's blowing my mind. And there just continues to be plane crash after plane crash after plane crash. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you made it this far. I know it's a longer video, but there was just a lot of data to dump in this. So if you did make it here, thanks for watching. Much love. God bless you all.
So if we're going to compare incandescent bulbs to LED bulbs, one doesn't have a warning label because it's not going to harm you, and this one has a warning label which talks about how it is emitting radiation the entire time while it's installed into your home. So this could be the big reason that they want to push these. They'll tell you they're going to save energy, they'll tell you they're going to be good for you, but the problem is with blue light, what blue light does is it disrupts the brain, it leads to cataracts, it also leads to memory loss, leads to a lot of issues. Versus these are very soothing, very relaxing, and that's why they're trying to ban them.
Birds on the collar right, y'all. Look at them. I swear these birds are upside down dead. We in New Carlisle, Indiana right now. Indiana. They even show you. I'm going to show you. They didn't already hit the ground. What's going on, world? What is going on?
Oh my god, this is so funny. So look at this. This is a voltage detector, right? Voltage detector. Then you use it to plug in outlets. They tell you that they're working, or you put them on wires to see if the wires are still live. It doesn't take a whole lot of electricity to set these off, but you know. But here I am in the middle of a driveway, not an outlet or wire in sight. And that's pinging off the high side because of that. So there's at least 50 volts of stray electricity coming off of that all the way to your driveway. When I was in the attic of this house, it was going off up there, which is not good. Yeah, I don't think I would buy this house.